Good morning, students. This is your English class, and I am your English teacher, Anubha Chatterjee. Today, we will read one of the chapters from your book Hornbill. The name of the story is Landscape of the Soul. It is written by Natalia Troveroy. So let us see the life of this author. Natalia Troveroy is an art historian. She was born on 2nd February 1975 at Buenos Aires in Argentina. Her translation on work was very famous. She was married to an ambassador. She is called Tini as her nickname. She likes painting. So this was about the writer of this beautiful story. Now let us see what this lesson has to tell us, or what is the story about. Wu Daoji was a master painter of ancient China. The classical Chinese painter did not intend to produce an exact copy of the landscape. It was conceptual landscape that they wanted. On the other hand, the European tried to create a perfect imagination. So, in this chapter, as the name suggests, landscape means a painting of the beautiful scenes that we see outside. This is called landscape. So, the famous painter Wu Daoji used to paint landscapes, but he never copied them as it is. So that's why his paintings were very, very beautiful. Now let us read this story and see what is there. A wonderful old tale is told about the painter Wu Daoji, who lived in the 18th century. His last painting was a landscape commissioned by the Tang Emperor Xuanzong to decorate a palace wall. The master had hidden his work behind a screen, so only the emperor would see it. For a long while, the emperor admired the wonderful scene, discovering forest, high mountains, waterfalls, clouds floating in an immense sky, men on hilly path, birds in flight. Look, sire, said the painting. In this cave, at the foot of the mountain, dwells a spirit. The painter clapped his hands, and the entrance of the cave opened. The inside is splendid, beyond anything words can convey. Please let me show your majesty the way. The painter entered the cave, but the entrance closed behind him, and before the astonished emperor could move or utter a word, the painting had vanished from the wall. Not a trace of Wu Daoji's brush was left, and the artist was never seen again in this world. So, now let me explain to you about this paragraph. The painter और द चित्रकार वू दाओजी जो 8वीं शताब्दी में रहता था, उसके विषय में एक अद्भुत कथा सुनने में आती है। उसका अंतिम चित्र प्राकृतिक अदृश्य था जो तंग सम्राट जुआनजोंग ने महल की दीवार पे सजाने के लिए बनाने का आदेश दिया था। चित्रकार ने अपनी कृति पर्दे के पीछे छिपा रखी थी ताकि केवल सम्राट ही उसे देख सके। सम्राट बहुत समय तक इस अद्भुत चित्र की प्रशंसा करता रहा। उसने देखा वन, ऊंचे पर्वत, झरने, विस्तृत आकाश में तैरते हुए बादल, पहाड़ी पगडंडियों पर चलते हुए लोग, उड़ते हुए पक्षी। देखिए महाराज, चित्रकार बोला, पहाड़ के दामन में इस गुफा में एक परी रहती है। चित्रकार ने अपने हाथों से ताली बजाई। वह गुफा का द्वार खुल गया। अंदर का दृश्य इतना सुंदर है कि शब्दों में वर्णन नहीं किया जा सकता। मैं आपको रास्ता दिखाता हूँ। चित्रकार गुफा में चला गया, लेकिन द्वार उसके पीछे बंद हो गया और इससे पहले कि दंग रहकर सम्राट कुछ कहता या हिलता, चित्र दीवार पर से लुप्त हो गया। वू दाओजी के ब्रश का कोई निशान शेष न रहा। वो कलाकार इस संसार में फिर कभी नहीं दिखाई पड़ा। So, in the first paragraph, you have come to know that Wu Daoji had made a beautiful painting, and after this painting, that painter was never to be seen. Now let us see what is there in the second paragraph. Such stories played an important part in China's classical education. The books of Confucius and Zhao Xing are full of them. They help the master to guide his disciple in the right direction. Beyond the anecdote, they are deeply revealing of the spirit in which art was considered. Contrast this story or another famous one about a painter who wouldn't draw the eye of a dragon he had painted for fear it would fly out of the painting, with an old story from my native Flanders that I find most representative of the Western painting. So let us see what this paragraph means. In this story, this is an ancient story. ये एक प्राचीन कहानी है। चीनी शिक्षक की भूमिका महत्वपूर्ण थी। कन्फ्यूशन और जोंग जी की पुस्तक ऐसी कहानियों से भरी हुई है। वे गुरु को शिष्य का ठीक दिशा में मार्गदर्शन करने में सहायता करते थे। कहानी से परे वे कला की भावना को व्यक्त करती थी। इस कहानी की तुलना करें अथवा एक अन्य प्रसिद्ध कहानी की जो ऐसे चित्रकार के विषय में है जिसमें अपने द्वारा चित्रित ड्रैगन की आँख खींचने से मना कर दिया था, क्योंकि उसे डर था कि यह चित्र में से निकलकर उड़ जाएगी। मेरे देश फ्लैंडर्स की एक पुरानी कहानी के साथ, जिसमें मैं पाश्चात्य चरित्र कला का प्रतीक मानता हूँ. So, the painter never wanted to paint the eyes of the dragon because he thought that the dragon may fly out of this painting. Now let us see what happens next. In 15th century, Antwerp, a master blacksmith called Quentin Metzius fell in love with a painter's daughter. The father would not accept a son-in-law in such a profession. So Quentin sneaked into the painter's studio and painted a fly on his latest panel with such delicate realism that the master tried to swat it away before he realized what had happened. Quentin was immediately admitted as an apprentice into his studio. He married his beloved and went on to become one of the most famous painters of his age. These two stories illustrate what each form of art is trying to achieve: a perfect illusionistic likeness in Europe, the essence of inner life and spirit in Asia. So let us see what this paragraph has to tell. 15वीं शताब्दी एंटवर्प में क्विंटन मेट्सिस नामक उत्कृष्ट लोहार एक चित्रकार की बेटी से प्यार करने लगा. पिता ऐसे व्यवसाय वाले को अपना दामाद बनाना नहीं चाहते थे, इसलिए क्विंटन चुपचाप चित्रकार के स्टूडियो में घुस गया. वह उसके ताज़ा चित्रपट पर मक्खी बना दी, इतनी सूक्ष्म यथार्थ से कि कलाकार उसे मारने का प्रयत्न करने के बाद जान गया कि क्या हुआ था. क्विंटन को बुलाकर अपने स्टूडियो में शिष्य बना लिया. वह क्विंटन का विवाह उसकी प्रेमिका से हो गया. वह बाद में अपने समय का प्रसिद्ध चित्रकार बना. ये दोनों कहानी दर्शाती है कि प्रत्येक कला क्या लक्ष्य प्राप्त करना चाहती है. यूरोप में परिपूर्ण मायावी सादृश्य, एशिया में आंतरिक जीवन अथवा आत्मा का सत्व. So, during the 15th century, the painters were so intelligent and so good at painting that they could make the pictures look like a real life picture. Now let us see what happens next. A classical Chinese landscape is not meant to reproduce an actual view as would a Western figurative painting. Whereas in the Chinese story, the emperor commissions a painting and appreciates its outer appearance, but the artist reveals to him the true meaning of his work. The emperor may rule over the territory he has conquered, but only the artist knows the way within. Let me show the way. The Tao a word that means both the path or the method and the mysterious work of the universe. The painting is gone, but the artist has reached his goal beyond any material appearance. So let us see what is said in this paragraph. चीनी कहानी में सम्राट ने चित्र बनाने का आदेश दिया। वो उसके बाह्य रूप की प्रशंसा की, परंतु कलाकार ने उसमें अपनी कृति का सही अर्थ प्रकट किया। सम्राट उस क्षेत्र पर शासन कर सकता है जिस पर उसने विजय प्राप्त किया, लेकिन अंदर का रास्ता तो कलाकार ही जानता है। दांव के शब्द लेट मी शो द वे में वे शब्द का अर्थ रास्ता भी है और तरीका भी, वह ब्रह्मांड के रहस्य भी। चित्र लुप्त हो गया, लेकिन चित्रकार ने अपने लक्ष्य पूरा कर लिया, जो भौतिक प्रतीत में अलग है। So, students, I hope you have followed this part of the story, that how in China the painters were so engrossed in painting that the painting would finally go out of this universe along with the painter, and the painter would never be seen again. It was so real that nobody could imagine what will happen to this painting. So, thank you, students, for today. In the next class, we will read the other part of this story and find out what happens